Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Battle Brothers Season 3. As today we kick things off in Oberberg, a bit of a ways out from Damwald where we last left off, but it turned out that Damwald still hadn't reset their markets, so they had no tools to offer. Not that Oberberg had all that many either, but they do like us better, so they certainly offered better prices. That said, primary goal today is of course to continue hunting the elusive Ejirok. But we do, of course, also still have our current ambition, as well as our current contract. So, first things first. Let's go grab the Shroud of the Founder from the Crypt of Jalfargo. Not anticipating anything too tough here. This is a basic Ancient Undead contract. And only a 2-skull at that. Would be nice if we could finally encounter our first Ancient Priest, but I don't think we're going to see that here. Oh, and let me update our battle line real quick for Ancient Undead. Most of our guys can handle it, but, you know, some are just better suited than others, especially given the chance for Honor Guard. And here we go. You enter the ruins and find the Shroud of the Founder easily enough. When you turn around, a tall man in rustic armor is standing there, spear in hand, with vacated eye sockets leering down at you. He swings the spear back. The false king must die. The spear stabs forward. Seymore leaps over and deflects it to the ground, the spear tip cracking a couple of sparks off the stone floor. You look at the undead man, a worm coursing through its nose. It speaks again. The false king must... With a quick draw, you unsheathe your sword and cut the ancient dead's head right off. The skull and helmet carrying it clatter and clank off the ground. Before you can investigate, Seymore grabs you and tells you to run. More undead figures are appearing out of the walls, shaking free of the granitic grip of the mausoleum's entombment. Once outside, you order the rest of the company to get into formation. Lots of ancient legionaries. Okay, so no real twists there. About what we expected for a 2-skull. Scrambling into place, the raider ranks formed amidst the toppled tombstones and shallow graves. The moldering bronze-clad corpses clattering forth. The raiders weren't too worried, though. Nothing they hadn't faced before. And they knew full well that without the guiding hand of a necromancer to direct them, these things were all but undead automatons. As ever, simply going through the motions, incapable of adapting or changing up their approach to fit their foe. Once they drew near enough, the raiders made their move. Tommy first to dart forward, axe in hand, thunking into a skeletal sternum. Mark fired off a blast on North, peeling away layers of moldering metal, arrows clattering into place shortly after. Rax waded in, intent on taking on the entire northern cluster himself, though Diego still moved in to provide support. And one by one, the rest of the raiders took up their positions. A few getting in quick swipes, but nothing all that telling, not this early in the fray. Also, I didn't realize that was impassable terrain. That does slightly change my positioning. Oh, and perhaps I spoke too soon. A deft swipe from Mal, an undead, dispatched. Skull clattering cross cobblestones. though the battle is, of course, far from done. And the rest of the raiders give Rax a wide berth. Another blast from Mark. The undead kept off kilter. Rax draws back, then tears through the ranks. A round swing, leaving 2 Centurions teetering. Though honestly, I probably would have gotten better results if I'd just gone for single swings. An awkward swing round intervening stone, but Random still bashes 2 bronze-clad bodies to bits. The raiders press the assault, taking a more aggressive footing as their foes begin to falter. A strike from Cetrus, another Centurion shattered. Seymore moves in. Swing and a miss. I should, you know what? As much as I do want weapon variety, I really should swap out that mace. It's just not working out for us. It does very sporadically come in handy, like with dazing those unholds we fought, but... Ooh. Oh, wow. We're actually getting in some decent hits there. But yeah, maybe I'll switch Seymore off to something like a Bardish or Great Hammer, perhaps. Something with an AoE option. So he's less likely to just completely whiff. Rax crushed another on North. Sigmar cleared center before circling round. Random wrecked another on south. Cetrus nailed the last on north. And Mal held back. No reason to rush into that gas. I think we're doing okay. Oh, well. Well, I guess Seymore gets the gas anyway. And with that, the fray finally comes to a close. The last few Forsaken figures still fighting fiercely. But their end is inevitable. Even if they never really register it. Rax ruins one, then rebound south. Sigmar bisects another. Oh, Seymore, you're killing me, man. Yeah, we gotta up that fatigue, too. I think I've already earmarked that, though. A swing from Setris sends the last figure staggering right into Random's flail. And with that, the Raiders stand victorious once more. A few bumps and bruises, but mostly just armor damage. Sadly, nothing all that notable. The Silver Bowl's decent. As is the gold, of course. But we'll take it. We're headed right back to town. With the fighting over, you look over your attackers. They're shelled within armor you don't recognize. Malafnoy Schreckenbold tries to pry one of the corpses out of its helm, but to no avail. He looks incredulously at the body. It's like it's just stuck there, or a part of him or something. You tell the men to gear up and get ready for a return to Ragnar the Counselor. No matter who or what these were, you're out here to get the Shroud of the Founder, and that part is done. Now it's time to get paid. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say the ancient undead are exactly unfamiliar. Their origins may still be unknown, but we've encountered them many a time before. Though still no ancient priests or the Emperor. Though we do now know where he is. That's the Black Monolith. You find Ragnar the Counselor sitting in the town square, his arms up to the skies, his eyes closed, his mouth murmuring prayers. The townsfolk are all around him, kneeling and doing the same. You pick up a rock and hurl it at a weather vane, the clank and rustic spin drawing everyone's attention. You hold the relic up so all can see. Ragnar jumps to his feet and takes the Shroud of the Founder. The people roar with delight, speaking of good things to come. Your payment is handed to you, which is truly what you would consider a good thing. Indeed. Town's in high spirits, even with marauding greenskins apparently encroaching. Oh, and then another rumor reinforcing that there's a relic somewhere out west. Too vague to be of much use, though, considering the extents of the western wilds. And no other contract, so I think it's time to get back to the hunt. Which, I think we'll start from Helvig here, and then we'll basically just trek straight east. Right along the border between the snow and the tundra. Though we might hit some of these towns in passing. Really, the important thing is just to make sure that our Idjirok isn't out east. If it is, we'll have to head west instead. Which, of course, will be a much bigger ordeal. Oh, taxidermist, yes. We've got a couple of things we have to convert. Another bone plate, an unhold cloak, which is a 20% reduction in range damage. Hard to say if that's really competitive with like the direwolf or hyena pelts, or even the bone plate for that matter. But I will say it is definitely stylish. Oh, goodness, yeah, and these prices are... Well, I mean, we need tools. 2 negative traits, terrorized and ambushed. Can we clear at least one of those up? No? Wow, okay. Apparently they're just looking to ship goods. I mean, I guess hiring caravan guards is one way to deal with ambush trade routes. But it's not what we're looking for. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely not. Himmelswacht is way, way, way too far south. Alright, well, give me a sec to see what trading is still worth doing under the current circumstances, and, yeah, and then we'll just push on. Stick to the original plan, head out east. And we're back. Yeah, sadly it wasn't really worth our time to do much trading here, but I did unload a few exceptionally cheap items, grab the tools available. And yes, we will push out east. Hopefully we can restock proper in probably Agerstead. Though our main goal still remains to to walk the line here. Keep an eye out for any signs of the Idjirok. We're especially keeping an eye out for any sort of peculiar land features like this pond here. Though that feels like it's too close to the guard tower. Oh. Well, I mean, that's not what we're looking for, but we'll take it. Obviously a pretty easy fight, but that's a good way to grab more XP for our non-capped characters. Minus the one with a broken nose, but that's fine. With their latest contract completed, the raiders set off due east, this time at the enigmatic instructions of the anatomists in their midst. Their first stop was a watering hole just south of Agerstead, frequented by local tribals it would seem, but sadly not what the anatomists were looking for, though they did see fit to let the raiders run down some local reavers, just to blow off steam. The snowy terrain, of course, was still slightly problematic, unaccustomed as the company was to these northern climes. But the opponents themselves were trivial, doubly so as they mistook the raiders' unsteady footsteps as a sign of weakness. A notion they would soon be disabused of. Diego struck first, stepping up to meet the first few to reach the raider line. More rushing in on south, Rassel readying his mace. Sigmar moved in. A deft strike of his sword impaling the first thrall, killing the one behind. Rook stepped up behind him, and the sword-speared savage ceased his bloody squirming. The rest of the reavers given briefest pause, but it was already too late. Mal barreled into their midst, Seymore right behind. Cetrus whacked the skull of a hammerer on north. Trip slipped his dagger neath the shoulder blade of one on south. Valen threw down with a javelin-wielding jabroni. Arrow set his sights on the distant drummer, though he was slightly wary of overextending. Alois cleared the air, and Rassel rushed in right after. But the beating continued, nonetheless. The barbarians doing their best to push back. A few hits landed here and there, raiders grunting, but none. Ooh. None felled. Valen double-tapped a dastard on north. Spikes pinned through shoulder and calf. Rook surveyed the battle line, then carefully took a knee. Arrow opened fire, but no luck as of yet. Alois opened a thrall's neck, shrapnel shearing through throat. Mal massacred two more malcontents. Grassel stunned a Reaver, then blocked another shot. A second strike from Cetrus, and a Hammerer's head exploded. Bits of brain blossoming red in the frosty white snow. Trip handily dispatched 2 more. The old man's deft daggering, easily darting past their defenses, even as Val finished off the flanker on North. Then grabbed for his hatchets, as he too set his sights on the backup drummer. Another rain of arrows, but alas, no luck. Though the hirsute brute finally took the hint. Random with another doubleheader. 2 more foes brutally dispatched. And then there was one. The drummer a lost cause, already halfway across the snowy field. A single cleaver-wielding cad still standing, though quaking at the knees. Although he sought escape, he soon found himself surrounded, all avenues cut off. An arrow from Bowman. A spear from Diego. Bit by bit, the barbarian was brutally disassembled, with Cetrus once again hammering the final nail. And with that, the raiders relaxed. Why exhaust themselves trying to chase down that one last lone figure? Instead, they caught their breath, rolled the corpses, and went on their merry way. A few tribal trinkets, we'll take those. I mean, really, we'll take it all for now, but we might have to get a bit more frugal, depending on what else we find out here. A brief moment to rearrange the ranks. And on they went. Once again, at the whims of their weird employers. Carving a path. Oh, here we go. I mean, still not what we're looking for, but slightly tougher fight. Might find something nice. Once again, we'll take it. The raiders continued their trek till nightfall. Random, noting that as they walked, that erstwhile drummer's tracks still strayed in and out of view. By sheer happenstance, the raiders seemed to be in accidental pursuit. And as twilight finally took full hold, the raiders could hear it, the thrum of more drums on the darkened horizon. And so they skulked through shadow, sneaking up upon yet another barbarian camp. I mean, if they were going to rest for the night anyway, might as well make sure the area is secure, right? Plus, of course, the allure of one less loose end. The raiders wasted no time in leaving their bloody mark, gashes and bashes marking the first contact betwixt them and their foe. Though no truly telling strikes as of yet. Hey, there we go. Seymore finally strikes true. Zarmal following his example, a bit further north. Two foes favoring their sides for slightly different reasons. Tommy takes his shot, but the thigh is the limit. And a blast from Mark. The first foe falls. Others flensed and defingered as well. Arrow finishes the second. Wrestle. Rushing round right after. Holding the south as best he can. Despite the veritable wall of foul vapor. Which the reviled Reavers show much less compunction about passing through. Tommy is pinned. Oh, that's no good. Yeah, that gap was way too wide. We've got to clear that cluster in center. We'll pick at it from the sides, I suppose. Move people as they're freed up. Zarmal repeatedly perforated the poor primitive on north. Diego discouraging the next one down the line. Tommy switched off to his fire spear. A slightly awkward grip. A gout of flame. One Reaver sent reeling as his lungs were singed. Two more marked off the map on north. Whilst Mal murked one more. A stab from Sigmar. A lurker eliminated. Arrow unhanded an axeman. Whilst Seymore smashed the last on north. Nice, nice. Tommy evades several strikes before doling a few out in return. Yeah, his defense actually isn't that bad. Oh. Okay, well, I guess I jinxed it. Sorry, Tommy. Perhaps overextended or simply overconfident. Tommy was caught off guard by one last swing. A massive spiked skull mace smashing into the side of his leg. He toppled to one knee, wounded, winded, but not out just yet. And the rest of the raiders rallied. Bowman bearing an arrow in the brutish boar's side. The drummer's now in sight. Honestly, almost forgotten. But the raiders had more immediate concerns. Key word being had. As Rassel made short work of the one towering over Tommy. And with their backline belly dancer thusly secured, the rest of the raiders started setting their sights on other foes. Those pesky percussionists chief amongst them. Mal disarmed a hammer-axe hooligan, as the second made good his escape. Rook finished the last two near Tommy, leaving but a single savage on the southern line. The drummers only now realizing that the true beating was about to begin. One drummer caught a hammer upside the head, ears ringing in symbolic fashion. Tommy hung back, in no condition to give chase. Diego snared the first instrumentalist. Random cleared the raider line. Not but two remained. Mal managed to catch up the one fleeing foe. Who ran nonetheless, and was promptly run through. And just like that, the barbarians had gone from band to solo act. Yeah, that's not really going to work out. Whoever heard of a one-drum band? Zarmal caught him through the foot, pinning him in place. And Cetris saw it through, spiking him into the ground. Oof. Slightly more painful than that first fight, but not too bad. I mean, Tommy sidelined for a bit, but it certainly could have been worse, and at least we pulled a level out of it, plus some halfway decent treasure items. And yeah, we definitely have to be a bit more frugal now. Alright. Let's go ahead and get that level knocked out. I believe that was Rassel. Still undecided on Mark. I'll get there. Probably once Alois joins him at soft cap. Like, fatigue hasn't really been an issue for the gunners, so it almost feels like a waste to take recover. But footwork comes up so rarely. It's a nice fallback to have, but at the same time, you know, it's the sort of thing you can theoretically circumvent with proper placing and alert shieldmen ready to rotate in. Oh boy, yet another camp. Another slightly tougher one, too. No chosen, but as we saw, those Reavers can still deal out the occasional nasty bit of damage. I mean, we'll do it. Hopefully we'll actually get something worth our while. The raiders continued their trek to the east, treading across snow-tinged tundra. And soon, yet another primitive village fell beneath their view. This one marked with a strange bone fetish. That of a goat or elk, perhaps? But peculiar in a way. And so the anatomist gestured to take this one as well. The raiders exchanged weary and wary glances, already hearing the baying of overexcited hounds in the distance. The Reavers no doubt aware of their slow approach. But a job's a job. And there will always be more blood to spill. Besides, it certainly beat facing off against more inhuman foes. Who knew what true prey the anatomist sought? Whatever it was, they certainly weren't sharing. The first hirsute herald fell. 2 other reavers flailed for good measure. Heavy bronze axes were brought to bear, some reavers realizing it was too dangerous to rush the raider ranks. The fact made all the more evident as those in the front row were consistently and persistently more and more chewed up. One taking a spear to the side. Another ribbed by Mal. Seymore stunned to third. The mace-wielding miscreant barely staying conscious. Another furry fury fell. But no time to lament. The fighting was still fierce. Another enemy all but eviscerated, pincushioned with projectiles. Alois annihilated one more on south, though the enemies still stood defiant. Some surging forth, seeking to overwhelm the more civilized sellswords. Oh, gosh. And overwhelm they did. An unlucky sledge finding its way over Verlin's shield, smashing his face, sending his dented kettle helm careening across the landscape. Yikes. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Val impales another foe. Diego fending off a doggo. Rook as well. Random lays down support. Crushing both foes, facing off with the defaced defender. Though 2 yet remained. Man, Sigmar really does not want to hurt those poor doggos. That's your problem, Mal growled, flicking the blood off his blade. You're too soft. Never gonna get ahead fighting like that. Aerobot Verlin some breathing room, handing off an approaching foe. Shoot! Ah. Accidentally skipped Seymor's turn. Yeah, I was hitting spacebar to end Cetrus's turn, and it had already moved on to Seymore. Ah, well, it's fine. We've got this. Shrapnel swept the center. The enemy line split. Val finishing one practically flayed figure. Zarmal knifed his way through north. Rook maimed a maceman. Arrow finishing him off. Then flesh wounding the one beyond. Random broke a leg out there. And the first few started to flay. Though those who were already engaged continued fighting to the bitter end. At least until dissuaded. It turns out being stabbed through multiple joints has that effect on people. Val was lent an ear, which did impede a proper hearing. Diego skipped right to the execution. Rook cleared the south, so Verlin could finally rest. Seymore finally found his footing. Centris striking down the last. But for one, the solitary escapee. He hadn't gotten too far, so of course the Raiders gave chase. Yeah, this should be easy. An axe toss put him off balance. Zarmal engaged, slowing him down. Oh, Seymore. You're killing me, man. Yeah, I think we will switch him off to something slightly more reliable. Or at least, you know, with an AoE. So he can target multiple foes at once. You know, I think we might go for a Bardish. We have not... I don't think we've ever actually used one in our previous series. One last head sent spinning. And the Raiders' work was done. Oh, hopefully this was worth it. Having Verlin sidelined while we're out hunting legendaries is rough. Since he is, of course, our most competent shieldman. Oh, gotta be frugal. Let's make sure we're swapping things out as we go. Oh, snap. Wow. That is such a modest-looking set of armor, I glossed right over it. But it is not modest at all. That is, in fact, pretty fantastic. I think that's high-end. Let me compare that to the adorned Oathtaker here. Oh, wow, yeah. I mean, just barely above on durability, but way better on fatigue. So that'll be fantastic for a battle forge that needs lighter armor. Which might actually be Seymore. He was struggling a bit there. I will have to crunch some numbers. Okay, yeah, you know what? Sucks to have Verlin sidelined, but he's alive. And we got a fantastic prize for his temporary sacrifice. Plus, I suppose, like the valuable furs there. A few other items here worth trading. Sadly, we're too light on tools to really top all this stuff off. And on we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to detour back to town where we're dangerously low on cart space. And even if we did encounter the Eidorok at this point, we've got too many frontliners sidelined, so we'd still need to hold off. Since I have fought that thing before, I've got a general idea of how to approach it. I mean, I guess we are right on top of the eastern edge. We should at least push all the way out. Hold that thought. You find Rax staring into the Grand Diviner's flail. The glassy bulb is filled with mist, and the sellsword is raking his tongue to suck up the condensation. Hand to your sword, you ask what he's doing, and the man freezes, and his eyes open, and he jerks back like a man snorting awake, knowing he's late for work. Ah, what the fark? How did... I was sleeping. When? What the fark? Some of the men have said the weapon has been murmuring when nobody's looking, and it seems, every so often, it does capture someone's ear. Random, could you, keep a closer eye on your weapon, please? Things are getting weird. Alright, well, as I was saying, we'll just push out to the eastern edge. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Hunting ground. A lone elk grazes on green meadows in the shadow of some trees and by a small lake. Okay, well, a pastoral pool. Gosh. Oh, okay, good. Seizing destiny by the beard, you declared your intention to travel across the land and make your mark as an explorer, reasoning that uncovering new locations, be they dens of evil or prosperous villages, would lead to new opportunities for wealth. The men enthusiastically followed. In the succeeding days, the company has looked upon many a broad vista, surveying high towers and treacherous canyons. You have dodged enemy scouts and made fireless camps beneath stars, like 1,000 candle flames in the void, charting the course of untamed rivers and skirting the hostile edges of uncrossable mountain ranges. The RetconRaiders can honestly claim themselves more widely traveled than many other bands of their kind. Very nice. I suppose also kind of fitting that the hunting ground ended up being the last one that finally triggered the ambition's end. Though, yes, as aforementioned, we're not, I think, in good enough shape right now to tackle that. But very soon, I think what we need to do, as much as I hate to say it, and because we're out of time anyway, is to fall back to the nearest town. Hopefully we can find what we need in Tonder, but if not, we'll go as far back as Agerstead. Yeah, that's got a temple, so that's really what we need. After bloodying their way through brutish barbarians, the raiders finally came to the cusp of a pastoral pool. A lone and tempting-looking elk supping at its side. But curiously, the anatomist quickly stayed the rest of the raiders' hands. A brief moment spent in quiet conversation, and then the signal to withdraw, to retreat to the nearest settlement for resupply. A few of the raiders glanced back askance. What was it in that clearing that had rattled the anatomist so? Surely not the simple beast. A source of easy meat, curious that they hadn't let them claim it. But the raiders would know soon enough. For not everything in this frosty realm was as it seemed. But that's a story for another time. For now, we leave off here. Tending our wounds, topping off supplies, clearing our cart. And then yes, we'll pick up here next time, as things once again get legendary. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Erie V23, Revenant, Alois, Bowman, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.